Hey everyone, I'm Rebecca and welcome to Watch Mojo. It takes a village to make a Hollywood movie, and everyone involved plays a major role in that film's overall success. That is perhaps never more true than for the film's stars, and in these actors' cases, it may have been even more true than usual. Today, we're marveling at some unscripted moments that were left in the movie. To start, Robert Downey Jr.
Shakespeare in the Park? Doth mother know you weareth her drapes?
Welcome to Watch Mojo, and today we're counting down our picks for the top 10 unscripted Robert Downey Jr. moments that were left in the movie.
No trust. Liar. I forgot the rest. It's coming back now.
Is everything a joke to you?
Funny things.
For this list, we're looking at all those catchy one-liners and scene-stealing moments that were reportedly ad-libbed, improvised, or simply omitted from the words of the book, but still uttered on screen by the Academy Award-nominated superstar. Hysterical or poignant, we'll be including moments that were added in because of RDJ's tendency to wander from the script. So heads up, there will be spoilers. Agree? Disagree? Prefer kiss kiss to bang bang? Number 10. Just getting the door. Spider-Man Homecoming.
Don't do anything I would do, and definitely don't do anything I wouldn't do. There's a little gray area in there, and that's where you operate.
When the trailer for the first Marvel Studios produced Spider-Man solo outing dropped, aptly named Homecoming, in addition to the promise of more web-slinging antics, we were treated to a laugh or two via Stark and Parker's banter. In particular, there's the moment where Peter reciprocates a hug, only to find Tony is getting the car door for him.
That's not a hug, I'm just grabbing the door for you. We're not there yet.
It's a micro scene that defines the relationship between the characters extremely succinctly, and left viewers wanting more. Yet, according to Spider-Man himself, Tom Holland, it was completely off script, as was much of the scene between the two.
Well, that was actually an improvised moment, you know. A lot of that scene was really entirely improvised. We kind of really riffed off each other.
Their riffing off each other is a running dynamic between the two actors, and a lesson to many up-and-comers.
I think I just tried to hug him. I just thought it would be funny if I hugged him, and Robert's instincts are so good that he was like, oh, I'm not trying to hug you, I'm just gonna get the door.
Number 9. Improvisation, my dear Watson. The Sherlock Holmes franchise.
I forgot the rest. It's coming back now.
According to Arthur Conan Doyle, if you eliminate the script, all that remains, however improvised, must be the movie. Okay, so we actually RDJ'd that particular quote. We're not pinpointing an exact moment here, since ad-libbing was such a big part of the production.
Have you actually read the book? I found it compelling.
Meanwhile, the witty repartee and naturalistic comedy between Holmes and Watson in the Guy Ritchie-directed franchise is a testament to two main factors: the real-life friendship between Downey Jr. and co-star Jude Law, as well as the spontaneity of the leading man on set.
I agree, it's not my best disguise, but let's make do.
According to Downey Jr., improvisation on set is, quote, a democracy in the truest and most frustrating and most rewarding sense of the word. Moriarty actor Jared Harris reportedly had to adjust to the loose use of the script as, quote, an exercise in trial by fire. But it paid off. The scenes between the two nemeses are electric. Number 8. Calling an audible. Captain America: Civil War.
Oh, Mr. Parker.
What are you doing? Hey, I'm Peter.
Tony.
When Tom Holland was announced as the new Spider-Man, replacing Andrew Garfield after less than 2 years off-screen, fans were eager to see how the young actor would fit, especially with a cast that was already brimming with established stars. Holland, at the time gaining a rather firm step into Hollywood, but still relatively unknown, was paired with the veteran RDJ. During the initial encounter between Tony Stark and Peter Parker, the former tells the young superhero to move the leg so he can sit down.
I'm gonna sit here so you move the leg.
Typical. Though we love him, Stark can be arrogant, and this is just another indication of that, right? Except it was more that Holland forgot his blocking, so RDJ corrected him both in character and as an actor, then continued the scene.
I'm gonna pretend you didn't say that.
Number 7. Blueberry: The Avengers.
His secrets have secrets.
It's bugging him too, isn't it?
Tony Stark loves his food. Whether it's cheeseburgers in Iron Man 1, donuts in Iron Man 2, or blueberries on the helicarrier in The Avengers.
Even if Barton didn't tell Loki about the tower, it was still all over the news.
The Stark Tower.
The last one, however, gains a distinction by being less of a character choice and more of an actor being mischievous. The moment where Stark offers his fellow Avenger a blueberry was not in the script, nor was the act of even eating them. Apparently, RDJ was simply hungry and managed to smuggle a packet of fruit on set and hide them in the elaborate lab design. Then, as cameras rolled, he tucked in. And since it seemed like such a Tony Stark thing to do, it remained in the film.
In a few hours, I'll know every dirty secret S.H.I.E.L.D. has ever tried to hide. Blueberry?
Number 6. I Love You 3000. Avengers Endgame. We have to address it. The moment that broke everyone's hearts. I Love You 3000.
I love you 3000.
Yes, there are rumors about much deeper meanings relating to the overall runtime of Marvel movies, but that's just a coincidence. During Avengers Endgame, while Tony puts Morgan to bed, he tells her that he loves her tons, which is how it was written in the screenplay. The same script was supposed to have Morgan say the same in return. However, to add a little naturalness into the scene, Downey Jr. suggested the new line based on how his own children reply to him in real life.
Love you tons.
I love you 3000.
The result is an amusing exchange between Pepper and Tony in the following scene, a finale line, and floods of tears. Number 5. Peekaboo, I See You. Tropic Thunder. Just like much of the rest of the movie they're filming in the action comedy, the real-life actors of Tropic Thunder took a lot of liberties with the script. So much so that to describe the screenplay as anything more than a general set of scenarios might be going somewhat overboard. Robert Downey Jr.'s Kirk Lazarus is probably a character that moviegoers will never see the likes of again.
Lazarus underwent a controversial pigmentation alteration procedure in order to play the platoon's African-American sergeant, Lincoln Osiris.
He's an American actor playing a white Australian actor who surgically alters himself to look like his on-screen black counterpart, in a parody of actors who take themselves and their method far too seriously. All directed by Ben Stiller.
You're Australian! Be Australian!
There was lots of unscripted material, but chief among them is this line from Robert Downey Jr. Beyond the improvised one-liner and diving forward role, the accent is completely hilarious.
I think I might be nobody.
Number 4. The Secret Door. Avengers Age of Ultron.
Guys, stop. We gotta talk this through. It's good talk.
No, it wasn't.
While it's common knowledge that the Iron Man actor is encouraged to be fast and loose with the Marvel movie scripts, this entry marks an instance where a change had to be made in post-production. The bulk of the line, "Please be a secret door," was, by all accounts, purely RDJ's on-set creation of making even the mundane action of finding a hidden door look rather amusing.
Please be a secret door. Please be a secret door. Please be a secret door.
Meanwhile, the gleeful little "yay" that follows came at the suggestion of Age of Ultron's executive producer Jeremy Latcham, and was inserted into the film as part of the edit. That little moment has since reappeared as part of memes worldwide. Number 3. Creating a new scene. The Galaga Guy. The Avengers.
Iridium. What do they need the iridium for?
It's a stabilizing agent. So I'm just saying, pick a weekend. I'll fly you to Portland. Keep love alive.
We've already talked about a scene that required an additional line of dialogue being added after principal photography concluded. This particular improvised bit from the Avengers, however, didn't need a new line recorded. It instead required some special effects work to allow a small unscripted moment to make it into the film. Upon entering the helicarrier bridge, Tony Stark points to a S.H.I.E.L.D. worker and remarks that he's playing Galaga.
That man is playing Galaga. Thought we wouldn't notice, but we did.
This is an old arcade game where you must defend humanity from attacking aliens. Wait a minute. So, not only did RDJ's offhand reference reflect the film's final battle, but also director Joss Whedon thought the line worked so well that they put in visuals from the actual Galaga game in post-production. Number 2. Creating another new scene. Shawarma. The Avengers.
We're not finished yet.
And then shawarma after.
American restaurants featuring Middle Eastern cuisine have Robert Downey Jr. to thank for the rise in popularity of shawarma in the 2010s, while audiences also have him to thank for the second post-credits scene of The Avengers. This beloved sequence sees the gang silently eating the dish after the Battle of New York is over. But it wouldn't have happened without some earlier scene rewrites. According to the original script, there was just one line of dialogue written for Stark to say after the battle is over before things all quickly move on. Both RDJ and the director thought it could be improved though, so Whedon came up with a few extra ideas. RDJ ultimately went with these off-script lines. After telling the group that they should, quote, just not come in tomorrow, Stark suggests that they all go for shawarma, despite his not knowing what it is.
Let's just not come in tomorrow. Let's just take a day. You ever tried shawarma? There's a shawarma joint about 2 blocks from here. I don't know what it is, but I want to try it.
Number 1. I Am Iron Man. Iron Man and Avengers Endgame.
Been a while since I was in front of you. I figure I'll stick to the cards this time.
Those famous 4 words that started it all off. I am Iron Man. With that, the MCU was born. The line is synonymous with Tony Stark's journey, not just in one movie, but across all Marvel productions since.
I am Iron Man.
It also encouraged the other writers and directors to take liberty with the characters as they'd been previously presented in the comics. The line means many things, but it takes the number 1 spot on this list for what it wasn't: written. Much of that first Iron Man was allegedly improvised. As a result, Robert Downey Jr.'s playful remark concluding the movie was so fresh that it became Tony Stark's catchphrase. It also led to a reshoot during the editing of Avengers Endgame that saw the cast and crew film the scenes so that the line would be included as the character's last live words.
And I am Iron Man.
Doesn't it just blow your mind that maybe the most famous line that Robert Downey Jr. has ever said on screen was apparently an ad-lib? RDJ as Tony Stark was just inspired casting, and of course, it led to an iconic moment. Now we move on to another actor who's given us many unforgettable unscripted scenes: Will Ferrell.
With every death, there comes rebirth. It's a circle of life. We're gonna be all right.
Welcome to WatchMojo, and today we're counting down our picks for the top 10 unscripted Will Ferrell moments that were left in the movie.
And we will corner your pride, your children, your offspring. How are you gonna do that? We will construct a series of breathing apparatus with kelp.
For this list, we're looking at the best and most hilarious Will Ferrell ad-libs on film. These unscripted moments from the comedian had to have made it into the final cut to be eligible. Did we forget your favorite Will Ferrell unscripted moments? Number 10. Buddy confronts Santa. Elf. One funny improvised moment comes earlier on with the elf's reaction to Santa's impending arrival. But this chaotic storyline serves up even more hilarious unscripted bits afterwards.
Okay, people, tomorrow morning, 10 a.m., Santa's coming to town. Santa!
Ferrell infused a childlike wonder into the character of Buddy for the film Elf. This came in handy for a scene where Santa visits the Gimbels department store. With his super cheery personality, Ferrell's character freaks out when he discovers it isn't the real Kris Kringle.
Let the kid talk.
You disgust me. How can you live with yourself?
Just cool it, Zippy.
You sit on a throne of lies.
The comedian's talents for improvisation really shine in this particular moment. Director Jon Favreau allowed the actor to throw around several memorable phrases at the imposter. It's especially funny to hear Buddy's description of the apparent smell the faker gave off.
He's kidding.
You stink.
Number 9. The end credits. Talladega Nights, The Ballad of Ricky Bobby. From the looks of the extended credit scene, Talladega Nights, The Ballad of Ricky Bobby is full of extra outtakes and improvised scenes.
Call McCready, funeral service.
McCready's. They'll find the hole and build the box.
Bodies that look so good, you're gonna want to talk to it.
These vignettes showcase Will Ferrell's ability to riff about anything. Along with his equally amusing co-star John C. Reilly, he sells a variety of products and services that get more insane with each passing minute.
We like to have a lot of laughs on the racetrack, but today we want to talk about something serious. Packs of stray dogs that control most of the major cities.
The performers even make something like stray dogs or funeral services laugh out loud funny. They don't quite make the main part of the film, but the inclusion of these bits reveals the precious time it took to craft each comic scene.
8% of us will die at some point in our lives.
The darkness is creeping towards you, whether you know it or not.
So a little planning can go a long way.
Listen, leaving your big old corpse behind for your loved ones to deal with ain't cool.
Number 8. Kissing Scene. Zoolander 2.
Alexandra!
During this Zoolander 2 scene, Will Ferrell's evil Mugatu embraces Kristen Wiig's Alexandria Atoz in a ridiculous kiss. The makeout session takes a funny turn as the villainess's gigantic headdress gets in the way. This didn't stop Ferrell from going further, attempting to break through the costume. It all worked especially well in the over-the-top and wonderfully unhinged Zoolander universe. Watching them kiss and scream pushes cringe humor to a whole new level, with the actor meeting his improvisational match in Wig. Neither actor broke as they brought things to a dramatic finish with tongues flying everywhere. Number 7. Town Hall Scene. The House. The House didn't get the attention of Will Ferrell's other films, but it's still full of great moments of improvisational comedy. Ferrell teamed up with fellow expert improviser Amy Poehler in this town hall scene.
Alex Johansson.
Yes! Unfortunately, the town is facing some devastating budget cuts this year, and I'm afraid the scholarship is an indulgence that the town can no longer afford.
Realizing that their daughter won't get the scholarship she needs, the concerned parents go into a frenzy about the funding being diverted for the construction of a local pool.
By show of hands, who here likes swimming?
No, wait, no, don't raise your hands.
Oh, come on.
No.
With the A-list comedians involved, it was no question that they could turn the scene into something special. Several comedic performers also populate the gathering with tragically hilarious stories to punctuate the moment.
You know what Laura brings to a potluck? Her nasty mouth and no more.
How was I supposed to know that I was supposed to bring food? That invitation was vague.
In his closing seconds, the lead actor gets one more line to finish out the scene on a high note.
I'll tell you one thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take a hate crap in that pool.
Number 6. Most of the film. Blades of Glory.
Just thought you'd like to see what a skater's body really looks like. Go ahead, drink it in. Don't be shy.
It's safe to say that most Will Ferrell films contain lots of improvisation, but especially so for this ice skating comedy. Blades of Glory features the comedian as bad boy skater Chaz Michael Michaels.
We're gonna skate to one song only. Lady Hump by the Black Eyed Peas. What you gonna do with all that junk?
Given a wide template to work with, the performer brought many of his own ideas to the dialogue, as a vast majority of it was entirely made up by him. His ad-libs enhance both the on-ice routines and many funny scenes between comedic actors like John Heder and Jenna Fisher.
Squat thrusts are hard.
Real hard.
Real hard.
They're hard, all right, but it's worth it to get a sweet burn deep in your thigh.
Knowing that his character was written with him in mind, Ferrell embodied the macho Michaels with a wonderfully entertaining backstory and a lot of room for improvised hilarity.
She's as cold as the ice she skates on. She's like dry ice.
Number 5. Chaz Reinhold. Wedding Crashers. Wedding Crashers claimed a spot as an absolute 2000s-era comedy classic before Will Ferrell even showed up, included as a last-minute surprise. The actor's appearance as the legendary event crasher Chaz Reinhold takes the film even further.
Believe it or not, he's getting married.
What?
What an idiot! Oh, what a loser!
Everything from his entrance to his obsession with meatloaf makes for an undeniably awesome moment.
Is this your place?
No, I live with my ma. Oh. Yeah. You hungry? Hey, Ma! Can we get some meatloaf?
Asking Owen Wilson's character about the dish, Chaz pesters his mother about food until audiences completely lose it.
Hey, Mom! The meatloaf! We want it now! The meatloaf!
What is she doing? I never know what she's doing.
It's difficult to gauge how much the comedian invented for the scene, but the wild energy he brings to it lands as signature Ferrell. He also caps off his cameo role with a hilariously awful trip to a funeral.
Damn you, Roger. Roger. Oh! Oh! Damn you, Roger! Damn it!
Number 4. The Tuna Story, The Other Guys. The Other Guys manages to make the unlikely collaboration between Will Ferrell and Mark Wahlberg work. As comically opposite cops, the two characters share a desk and get into arguments like the one in this hilarious scene.
Even if you weren't in my food chain, I would go out of my way to attack you. If I were a lion and you were a tuna, I would swim out in the middle of the ocean and freaking eat you! And then I'd bang your tuna girlfriend.
Wahlberg serves up a ridiculous story about a fight between a tuna and a lion. With an insane premise to work with, Ferrell went off on a wild tangent about the fish.
But you find yourself in the ocean, 20-foot waves, I'm assuming it's off the coast of South Africa, coming up against a full-grown 800-pound tuna with his 20 or 30 friends, you lose that battle.
He flipped the script completely and built a robust argument in favor of the tuna.
We've communicated and said, you know what? Lion tastes good. Let's go get some more lion. We've developed a system to establish a beachhead and aggressively hunt you and your family.
Somehow, through it all, Wahlberg kept a straight face as his co-star crafted a glorious rant all his own.
It's not going to be days at a time, but an hour 45, no problem. That will give us enough time to figure out where you live, go back to the sea, get more oxygen, and then stalk you.
Number 3. Brennan and Dale threaten each other. Step Brothers. Step Brothers excels as another quotable team-up between Will Ferrell and John C. Reilly. As two middle-aged men living with their newly married parents, the man-children become bitter rivals. The Step Brothers' evil antics get going as they try to fall asleep in the same room, but resort to dissing each other instead.
I hate you. And so does my dad. Well, that's fine. Because guess what? I hate you too.
Unleashing a series of unrepeatable insults, the two veterans were able to dish out ad-libs like it was nothing. They even threatened each other before the scene finished.
You better not go to sleep. As soon as your eyes shut, I'm gonna punch you square in the face. I hope you stay still when you sleep, because I'm putting a rat trap between your legs.
Given their positions in life, it makes it more hilarious to know that the performers did the entire scene as grown adults. It narrowly beats out the actors' improvisation in the sleepwalking scenes. But this moment makes us laugh too for its elaborate absurdity. Number 2. Traveling around New York. Elf. The Christmas classic Elf gave Will Ferrell ample opportunity to explore his character inside and out. In the scene where Buddy explores New York City, the bulk of his on-screen antics were improvised. Filmmaker Jon Favreau admitted that the shooting process only allowed for fast shots of the main character acting opposite real New Yorkers. Ferrell embraced the freedom of live ad-libbing with real people in an endlessly exciting sequence.
You did it! Congratulations! World's best cup of coffee. Great job, everybody. It's great to meet you. Hi.
His interactions with various pedestrians yielded several funny interactions, including a confrontation with a Santa lookalike. He also proved how committed he was when he grabbed gum off a railing to chew. Fully immersed in his character, the comedian's gamble paid off, as his role translated well to the real world. Number 1. Ron Burgundy in a phone booth. Anchorman, The Legend of Ron Burgundy. Anchorman contains so many memorable scenes and instances of improvisation that it's hard to pin down one moment to represent its brilliance.
Ron, are you okay? The man put it back, sir. Calm down. Breathe, Ron.
While it was not easy to choose, this phone booth scene serves as one of the movie's crowning achievements.
What? I didn't understand a one word you said.
Ron Burgundy's inability to even get out full sentences or words only adds to the hilarity of it all. At one of his lowest moments, Burgundy's various screams and cries are all courtesy of Ferrell's free-spirited approach to the character.
The motorcycle on the bridge! I hit him with a burrito! Ron! He took him with his foot! And he kicked him! That's what he did!
The actor's status as a top comedian and an amazingly enjoyable performer grew exponentially after this moment.
Ron, where are you? I'm in a glass case of emotion!
I can proudly say that I quote Anchorman and the glass case of emotion scene specifically often. Another actor who I quote probably more than I should is Jim Carrey. So let's take a look at some unscripted Jim Carrey moments that were left in the movie.
Kisses? Daddy.
Hey everyone, I'm Rebecca and welcome to Watch Mojo. Today we're counting down our picks for the top 10 unscripted Jim Carrey moments that were left in the movie.
Wait, let me do that one more time. Give me the line again. Oh, you pretty chitty bang bang, chitty chitty bang bang, we love you. And our pretty chitty bang bang, chitty chitty bang bang loves us too. Hi. We'll improvise. Just keep it kind of loosey-goosey.
For this list, we're looking at reported Jim Carrey improvisations that proved so funny, directors could not bear to cut them from the movie. Do you know of any others that we missed? Number 10, Dr. Robotnik's Dance, Sonic the Hedgehog. Jim Carrey as Dr. Robotnik was an odd casting choice to say the least, but it resulted in a fun performance that allowed the actor to revisit his over-the-top roots. The comedian was given free rein to ad-lib on set, and by the end of shooting, Carrey wasn't sure how much of the actual script made it into the movie.
I'm in charge. Is Major Ben charge?
Carrey's most uproarious improvisation comes in the form of a dance sequence. While analyzing one of Sonic's quills, Robotnik cuts loose with choreography that only Carrey could come up with on the spot.
Evil grows in the dark, where the sun never shines.
It was reportedly Carrey's idea to include the song Where Evil Grows, remembering it from his childhood.
See, that's a Canadian band. I came up with that song from my childhood, and it actually turned out to be a band from Vancouver.
Carrey's assistant Nicole also fed him a line when Agent Stone shows up with lattes.
Ah!
I just thought you might like a latte with steamed Austrian goat milk.
What do I look like, an imbecile? Of course I want a latte. I love the way you make them!
Number 9, On 9, Me, Myself, and Irene. Playing a character with a split personality, Carrey was even more unpredictable than usual in Me, Myself, and Irene. On multiple occasions, he caught his co-stars off guard. One such example is when Carrey's Charlie asks his 3 teenage sons for a kiss goodbye, which apparently wasn't in the script.
Oh, I gotta get out of here. I don't want to have to bust a cap. Kisses?
Daddy.
In another instance, Irene and Charlie's other personality, Hank, decide to ditch their vehicle. Ready to shove the car off a cliff, Hank tells Irene to push on the count of 9.
Ready? On 9. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9.
Why not the count of 10? It doesn't really matter since Hank counts down in barely a second. Carrey came up with this line, and you can tell from the bewildered look on Renee Zellweger's face that she was not prepared for it. Number 8, The Cellist's Arm, Ace Ventura Pet Detective.
Just don't let me catch you with an animal in here, that's all.
All right. Take care now. Bye-bye then.
Loser. Carrey was heavily involved in the production of Ace Ventura, contributing rewrites to the script and injecting numerous moments off the top of his head. Infiltrating a party, Ace does everything in his power not to blend in. As if his eccentric wardrobe and personality weren't enough to draw attention to himself already, Ace goes out of his way to pull on a cellist's arm. This causes the musician to hit a wrong note, but Ace just keeps walking without skipping a beat.
Oh, look, honey. There's the hors d'oeuvres.
Carrey threw in this random moment without preparing anyone, least of all the cellist. Even when given the most straightforward direction, Carrey can't resist sprinkling in something extra.
I'm gonna execute a button-hook pattern super slow-mo.
Number 7, Hello, Clarice, The Cable Guy.
Come on, baby.
Talk to me. Tell me where you're naked.
If we had to single out the 2 most horrifying characters to come out of the 90s, they would undoubtedly be Hannibal Lecter and Jim Carrey's Cable Guy. Okay, maybe we're exaggerating when it comes to the latter, but Chip Douglas does borrow a page from Hannibal the Cannibal in this scene.
Dost have thou a mug of ale for me and me mate? He has been pitched in battle for a fortnight, and has a king's thirst for the frosty brew, thus thou might have for thus.
At a medieval times restaurant, seriously, why aren't there more of those? Chip asks Matthew Broderick's Stephen for his chicken skin. Draping his face in the skin, Chip imitates Hannibal's gruesome disguise from The Silence of the Lambs.
Silence of the Lambs. Hello, Clarice. It's good to see you again.
You can tell that Carrey improvised this moment based on Broderick's reaction. As Carrey covers his face with poultry, Broderick is unable to maintain a straight face, visibly breaking on screen. Number 6. Chitty Chitty Bang Bang, Ace Ventura When Nature Calls. Once again, Carrey had the creative freedom to go wild as Ace Ventura. Fulton Greenwald is completely unprepared when Ace decides to take a shortcut. Likewise, actor Ian McNeice wasn't expecting Carrey to suddenly burst out singing Chitty Chitty Bang Bang. Having forgotten his lines, Carrey ad-libbed with the theme from the Dick Van Dyke musical adventure.
Oh, you, pretty chitty bang bang, chitty chitty bang bang, we love you. And our pretty chitty bang bang, chitty chitty bang bang loves us too. Hi.
Way to make an already stressful situation even more unhinged. We're not sure what's more impressive, Carrey's manic improvisation skills or the fact that McNeice didn't break out laughing. Director Steve Odekirk chose to keep the scene since Carrey and McNeice managed to stay in character throughout. As Carrey hits the song's final note, however, McNeice can be spotted cracking a smile as he covers his ears. Number 5. Directing Max, How the Grinch Stole Christmas. As the Grinch, Carrey concocted much of his dialogue, including his 6:30 dinner line.
5:30, jazzercise. 6:30, dinner with me. I can't cancel that again. 7 o'clock, wrestle with my self-loathing. I'm booked.
Arguably his most elaborate ad-lib took aim at the film's director Ron Howard. Before heading off to Whoville, the Grinch attempts to get his dog Max into character as Rudolph.
If I can't find a reindeer, I'll make one instead.
He does this by channeling Howard, even donning one of the director's signature baseball caps. What ensues is 100% Carrey poking fun at Howard's directing methods. Howard wasn't offended by Carrey's imitation of him. On the contrary, Howard found it so hysterical he couldn't leave it out of the picture.
Brilliant! You reject your own nose because it represents the glitter of commercialism. Why didn't I think of that? Cut, print, check the gate, moving on.
Of course, Howard had to cut some of Carrey's more adult-oriented ad-libs throughout the film to keep things PG. Are we the only ones who want to see an R-rated director's cut?
Taxi! It's because I'm green, isn't it?
Number 4. Meeting Count Olaf, Lemony Snicket's A Series of Unfortunate Events. This dark comedy has too many improvised moments to keep track of, but Carrey's introduction as Count Olaf is definitely a highlight.
Well, hello, hello, hello. I am your beloved Count Olaf.
Although he acts as if the world is his stage, Olaf is ironically a horrible actor. So when Olaf asks Klaus Baudelaire to repeat the line he just said, it seems to be on brand for the character.
Your left side is the good one.
In reality, Carrey forgot his next line and decided to spin his mistake into comedic gold.
Give me the line again. Quickly, while it's fresh in my mind.
Our parents just died?
A confused Klaus thus says his line again, prompting a more shocked reaction from Olaf. Between the performances and the editing, this unscripted moment plays out seamlessly. Carrey is a method actor, and even when drawing a blank, he can stay true to his role.
The idea.
Anyway.
Number 3, that one's for free, The Truman Show. Believe it or not, it was Carrey's performance as Ace Ventura that convinced director Peter Weir to cast him as Truman Burbank, one of his most dramatic roles. Weir also came to appreciate Carrey's improv talents, which can be seen in the finished film. When Truman talks to himself and the audience in the mirror, Carrey added an extra bit of whimsy to the moment.
Is he looking at us?
Jesus, do you think he knows?
As his character pretends to be an outer space explorer, Carrey took a piece of soap and drew a helmet on the mirror. Apparently, there was another take where Carrey sketched a dress, although the astronaut attire best illustrates Truman's desire to escape from Sea Haven Island.
I hereby proclaim this planet Trumania of the Burbank Galaxy.
Okay.
Gonna go?
Hallway camera ready.
That one's for free.
Kind of ironic that Carrey would later play a man on the moon.
I hope you don't take everything I did in there seriously, what I was saying. It's just part of the show.
Number 2. Sorry, wrong pocket. The Mask.
Okay.
When Stanley Ipkiss first transforms into the cartoony Mask, he has some fun at the expense of a local street gang by setting up a balloon animal booth.
Get right up here! Don't
Coffee shine! Nobody likes a Beth Leatherhead! Move it!
After making one gangster a giraffe, the mask reaches into his pocket and accidentally pulls out a soggy used balloon.
Now. Sorry, wrong pocket.
Oh wait, we just realized that was not a balloon. There goes our childhood innocence. The moment is only made more hilarious when you consider that Carrey apparently came up with this bit. Talk about being a master of improv and prop comedy. Number 1, the most annoying sound in the world, Dumb and Dumber.
Hey, I guess they're right. Senior citizens, although slow and dangerous behind the wheel, can still serve a purpose.
I'll be right back. Don't you go dying on me!
It shouldn't come as a surprise that Carrey was entirely responsible for some of the funniest lines in this cult comedy classic. While exiting the hotel lobby bar, Carrey injected Lloyd's priceless reaction to landing on the moon, which had been old news for 25 years by that point.
No way!
That's great! We landed on the moon!
Carrey's most notable contribution, however, comes during an already obnoxious car ride. Stuck between Harry and Lloyd, hired goon Mental is on the verge of cracking. So naturally, Lloyd tries to ease tensions by making the most annoying sound in the world.
Want to hear the most annoying sound in the world?
Guys!
Fellas.
This was all Carrey's doing, and it's easy to spot the look of uncertainty on Jeff Daniels' face leading up to it. Daniels also joins in making the sound, but not before cracking up.
Jim Carrey is a legend when it comes to ad-libbing, improvising, going off script, whatever you want to call it. But there is one comic actor who might just have him beat in that department. Can you guess who it is? Well, we'll be taking a look at his unscripted moments right now. And boy, what a list it is.
Good morning, Vietnam! Hey, this is not a test. This is rock and roll.
Hey everyone, I'm Rebecca and welcome to Watch Mojo. Today we're counting down our picks for the top 10 unscripted Robin Williams moments that were kept in the movie.
Yeah, could you scooch?
Oh, move over just a little bit.
Thank you.
Get out here.
Keep on scooching.
Get out here.
Boy, am I in for it now. Make your life spectacular. I know I did.
For this list, we're looking at lines and even entire scenes from movies and TV shows that were reportedly improvised by Robin Williams. So, what's your favorite Robin Williams movie?
Number 10, Slipping on the Floor, The Birdcage. In one of his more underrated comedies, Williams plays Armand Goldman, the owner of a Miami drag club.
Fosse, you do Martha Graham, or Twyla, or Michael Kidd, or Madonna.
He's forced to act straight with his partner, Nathan Lane dressed as a middle-aged woman, while meeting his son's conservative in-laws-to-be.
You men, you're just the biggest babies. You know, they can run the world, but they can't pick out a tie.
Oh, I know. I can't get this big lug to buy a new suit.
In the climactic dinner sequence, Armand slips and falls while carrying a pot of soup. According to Williams co-star Hank Azaria, Williams actually slipped and fell while filming the sequence. Ever the pro, Williams simply got back up and carried on. Although he nearly breaks while telling his son to go.
It's okay. We're all right. It's fine. Just shut up, goddammit. It's all right. Stop crying. Goddamn you. What are you standing there for? Go. She'll be here in a minute. Go.
Number 9, much of the movie, Jack. One of Francis Ford Coppola's lesser efforts, Jack stars Williams as Jack Powell, a kid who ages 4 times faster than a typical child.
Just can't sleep. I had a scary dream. Can I sleep in here?
Yeah, of course, buddy.
Stimpy too?
Sure.
When Jack is 10 years old and attending school, he has the body and appearance of a 45-year-old Robin Williams. According to Coppola, Williams improvised many of his lines at his insistence. He told the Christian Science Monitor, quote, "The easiest thing about working with Robin was encouraging him to improvise, for he's brilliant."
So you might want to go to the dance with me. It'd be really, really fun.
Oh, Jackie.
So you want to go? My mom will drive us.
When he began to ad-lib, it was screamingly funny. While it's not known what specific lines were improvised, it's clear that Williams had to carry much of the film on his shoulders. Even if the results were mixed, Williams' dedication is undeniable. Number 8. Pinocchio, Aladdin.
10,000 years will give you such a crick in the neck.
Despite some strong competition, Williams' performance as the genie may be his best work. Not only is the voice acting terrific, but it encapsulates everything that made Williams such a fantastic entertainer: his manic energy, his uproarious comedy, and his unending creativity.
I can't make anybody fall in love with anybody else. Mwah! You little punum there. Rule number 3.
I can't bring people back from the dead. It's not a pretty picture. I don't like doing it.
Animation supervisor Eric Goldberg fondly recalls Williams' improvisations in the recording booth, which indicated making a boop sound to indicate Aladdin's lie. It was meant to represent the sound of Pinocchio's growing nose, so Goldberg and his team worked around Williams' improv and added Pinocchio's face into the movie.
The only way I get out of this is if my master wishes me out. So, you can guess how often that's happened.
I'll do it. I'll set you free.
Uh-huh, yeah, right.
No, really, I promise. After I make my first 2 wishes, I'll use my 3rd wish to set you free.
It's amazing to consider how much creative leverage Williams had on the creation of Aladdin. Number 7. Tomas and Tim, Friends. In 1997, Williams and Billy Crystal co-starred in the Ivan Reitman comedy Father's Day. The day before it premiered, Williams and Crystal also appeared together in this Friends episode.
Do you mind if we sit?
Yeah, could you scooch?
Oh, move over just a little bit.
Thank you. Keep on scooching.
Their presence was not planned, and their characters never appeared in the script. Rather, Williams and Crystal were both near the Friends set and were asked if they wanted to cameo. They obviously agreed and reportedly improvised the entire scene.
So you went to Pete's?
What happened? This is something, why is this happening to me? I don't know, maybe it's my wound.
Forget it.
At one point, Matt LeBlanc even got in on the action and improvised a rude interruption, resulting in an annoyed admonishment from Billy Crystal.
It's me. I've been sleeping with your wife.
So you're the gynecologist?
Hey, I'm trying to have a private conversation about it.
It was probably the highlight of his career.
Please, just give me this thing, all right? All right, enough.
Number 6. Stole My Line, Good Will Hunting. Sean Maguire is one of Williams' more reserved and dramatic roles, and it was the one that earned him his only Academy Award.
You don't know about real loss, because that only occurs when you love something more than you love yourself. I doubt you've ever dared to love anybody that much.
The ending of the movie sees Will going to California to reunite with Skylar and leaving Sean a note telling him he had to, quote, go see about a girl. This is a reference to a line Sean uttered earlier in the film.
Just slid my ticket across the table and I said, sorry guys, I gotta see about a girl.
I gotta go see about a girl?
Yeah.
That's what you said?
I had.
And they let you get away with that?
Oh yeah, they saw in my eyes that I meant it.
According to Matt Damon, Sean's reaction to the note was completely improvised by Williams. The script didn't have Sean saying anything, but Williams, ever the ad-libber, reportedly improvised a different line on each take. When he said the line that now appears in the movie, Damon grabbed the director in excitement, knowing that Williams had just uttered gold.
If the professor calls about that job, just tell him, sorry. I had to go see about a girl. Will.
Son of a bitch. He stole my line.
Number 5. Many Things, Mork and Mindy. Mork and Mindy served as Williams' mainstream breakthrough hit.
Boy, am I in for it now. Sent before the white desk again. What did I do? The solar lander, you fool. You painted a mustache on it. But Orson doesn't know I did it. Then why am I here? If I knew that, I wouldn't be talking to myself.
It all started when Williams was cast in the Happy Days episode My Favorite Orkin, and he reportedly impressed the network executives by improvising most of Mork's dialogue. His character proved so popular that he was given a spin-off, and Williams quickly became a household name. While stories of Williams' improv have been greatly exaggerated and mythologized, he still improvised to great success.
Hey, stop it! You're gonna stretch out my boots.
These your boots? Really, I had to stuff socks in the front. Oh, Mark, you're so talented and handsome, and you have such great taste in clothes.
Hey, wait a minute. I never said that.
Well, it'd be nice if you did once in a while.
One of the show's writers, David Mish, told Gizmodo, quote, he didn't do extended ad-libs, but what he did that would be so brilliant were these little things. A line here and there, a word here and there, a face, a voice. Those were the things that blew people's minds.
That's it. You know, I really hate it when you act like this.
Oh?
Yeah.
Oh, really? You know what I hate? I hate it when you gargle and you don't make any noise. It's like...
Number 4. Melting icing, Mrs. Doubtfire. In one of the movie's greatest sequences, Daniel is forced to play both himself and Mrs. Doubtfire when social worker Mrs. Sellner pops by for a surprise visit.
Because I have an appointment on Monday and Friday evenings to check the apartment.
I remember him saying something about that. Are you sure you want to walk in there? That's 3 floors, hoofing it all the way.
If you can do it, I can.
I'll bet so. Is your ticket all right?
Top notch.
Oh, good, because I don't want to jumpstart you.
Having lost his mask, Daniel shoves his face in a cake and pretends that it's Mrs. Doubtfire's nightly meringue mask.
Hello! Ah! Oh, I'm sorry to frighten you, dear. I must look like a yeti in this get-up. This is my nightly meringue mask.
That much was scripted. The rest was all Williams. The hot studio lights began melting the icing on Williams' face, and it genuinely began dripping off into the tea. Williams decided to just run with it, and he gave audiences a classic bit of comedy in the process.
As you can see, I can't stay with you, dear. I'm melting like a snow cone in Phoenix. There we go again. I'll go get Danny, all right? He'll be right with you. Hold on. Danny!
Number 3. The broadcasts. Good Morning, Vietnam.
Good morning, Vietnam! Hey, this is not a test. This is rock and roll.
In this war comedy drama, Williams plays Adrian Cronauer, a real United States Air Force airman who served as a military DJ throughout the Vietnam War. Williams' performance as Cronauer was widely acclaimed, and it earned him his first Academy Award nomination for Best Actor.
Well, thank you, Roosevelt. What's the weather like out there? It's hot. Damn hot. Real hot. Hotter than this is my shorts. I can cook things in it. Little crotch pot cooking.
According to the movie's producer, Mark Johnson, most of the DJ scenes were entirely improvised by Williams. In the movie's production notes, Johnson stated, quote, when he sat down in the control booth to do the scenes involving Cronauer's broadcasts, we just let the cameras roll. He managed to create something new for every single take. Such was the manic energy and unbelievable creativity of Robin Williams.
Remember the people who brought you Korea. That's right, the U.S. Army. If it's being done correctly, here or abroad, it's probably not being done by the Army.
Number 2. Farting in Sleep. Good Will Hunting. Despite being one of his more serious roles, Williams still found time to imbue Sean McGuire with a funny bone.
Hey, whatever blows your hair back. Yeah, I haven't got much hair left. Hey, you know you'd be better off shoving that cigarette up your ass. It'd probably be healthier for you.
During a heart-to-heart with Will, Sean mentions that he has to learn to embrace a woman's imperfections.
My wife used to fart when she was nervous. She had all sorts of wonderful little idiosyncrasies.
To give an example, he tells Will that his late wife used to fart in her sleep. That line, and the resulting discussion, were entirely improvised by Williams and Matt Damon. And Damon's laughter was reportedly genuine.
Oh, God.
She woke herself up.
Yes. Oh, Christ. But Will, she's been dead 2 years, and that's the shit I remember.
Some viewers even noticed the camera shaking right after Sean says, I didn't have the heart to tell her.
I'm sorry I shared that with you. One night it was so loud it woke the dog up. She woke up and got like, oh, was that you? I said, yeah, I didn't have the heart to tell her.
Indicating that the camera operator was laughing alongside Williams and Damon. Oh, what it would have been like to work with this man. Number 1. Celebrity Impressions. Aladdin.
What would you wish of me? Be ever impressive.
The one contained,
Often imitated,
but never duplicated. Genie of the Lamp.
As stated before, Aladdin may be Robin Williams' greatest work. So much so, in fact, that he reportedly gave the filmmakers 16 hours of content. Animation supervisor Eric Goldberg recalls that he had Williams for 4 four-hour sessions, and Williams filled that time with improvisations, jokes, lines, and tons of celebrity impressions.
Looks like we're gonna have to find a way out of here. Excuse me? Are you looking at me? Did you rub my lamp?
Did you wake me up? Did you bring me here? And all of a sudden you're walking out on me? I don't think so. Not right now. You're getting your wishes, so sit down!
Goldberg told Entertainment Weekly, quote, "When we got Robin in the recording studio, out came all the celebrity impressions."
That's a good move. I can't believe it. I'm losing to a rug.
So aside from busting a gut laughing, we just looked at each other and said, we can't not use this stuff. The result was Genie's signature use of celebrity impressions, and the rare case of animators working around a voice actor. Williams really could do anything.
Genie, I need help.
All right, Sparky, here's the deal. If you want to court the little lady, you gotta be a straight shooter. Do you got it?
I hope you enjoyed learning that some of your favorite movie lines are unscripted. Thanks for joining me on this trip through the WatchMojo archives. See you next time.